All right, guys, what's happening? What's happening? Good morning to you. It is Friday, April 16th, 2021. This morning, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite, but sometimes least favorite topics, cold reach out. Man, so many people do this wrong, and I can't wait to dig into this one. Let's get started.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life. And then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.
All right, guys, what's happening? Good morning to you. Happy Friday, man. Happy to be here with you guys. I'm feeling more and more normal by the day here. So it's been a rough couple of weeks, but I'm in the home stretch of this thing. I think I've been getting a lot of rest, and that has been helping tremendously. So I'm starting to feel like myself again. It's good to be here with you guys, and excited to share this one with you this morning. So we're going to talk a little bit about cold reach out. When we talk about cold reach out, it means anybody contacting you, kind of out of the blue to make a connection, make a friendship, build a relationship. Over the past few years, this has happened to me more and more and more, right? I've been getting more, kind of cold out of the blue DMs or emails or phone calls, things like that, people trying to do business with us. As our company grows and as I've done this 321 times now, more people get to know you and more people, kind of want to connect with you. And so this morning I wanted to talk about, how do you get the best value out of this? How do you get the best results out of cold reach out? And how do you avoid those pitfalls that everybody doesn't like, right? Everybody hates, I will say. I'll go as strong as that. When you don't want, your DMs full of, just junk messages. Like I've gotten some very strange ones over the years of just, people striking up conversation as if we're, long lost friends, and they ask these random questions. And I'm just like, man, it's so strange. Right. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how to get the most out of, cold reach out, because, we all do it, whether it's on social media, whether it's somebody you see in the comments on this show, whether it's, somebody that you've wanted to reach out to and you just don't know how. Hopefully after today, you guys will understand exactly how to do that. Before we jump into the content here, I want to say good morning to some folks. What's happening? Jared Bird, Mr. Callaway, good morning. Bob Bernard, my man, good morning, brother. Headed to Cleveland here as soon as this call's over. Dave, good morning to you. Tammy, thank you for being here as always. Bruce, Rodney, Carla, Randy, Lewis, my wife's on here. Good morning, babe. Lorraine, good morning. And David Martin, good morning, my brother. I'll be calling you soon, David Martin, so stay by your phone. All right, so let's jump in here. So when it comes to cold reach out, how do we get the best results? Mike, what's happening, man? Good morning to you, brother. How do you get the best results when it comes to cold reach out? And this is, it could be cold calls, it could be cold emails, it could be DMs, it could be any source of connecting with somebody that you want to use. How do you get the best results? So there's two things that I will tell you. Number one, actually three things. Number one is keep it brief. Don't write a novel to somebody that you've never spoken to before and expect them to read it. The best cold calling emails, phone calls, etc., are short, sweet, and to the point. And the second part of this is they provide value. There's some kind of value in there, right? It's not just like, hey, I admire you. It's like, hey, here's some of the things that I really like, or some of the things that I got something out of that you do, or, some of there's a million ways to provide value to another person or to make that person feel valuable, right? But, number one, keep it brief. Number two, provide value. And last but not least, number three is be yourself. Don't try to be something that you're not. Don't be all awkward and weird. Just be yourself. Just say hello. Speak from the heart. Tell people how you feel. And again, keep it brief and provide value in that message. And I bet you a lot of times, 8, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a response, and you're going to get probably a conversation that moves towards whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish in that conversation. So, when you're reaching out to somebody that doesn't know you, just remember that. Remember that this person on the other end of the phone, they don't really know who you are. And so they're trying to gauge, is this somebody I want to engage in conversation with? Is this somebody, in all seriousness, for a lot of people, if it's somebody that, is very busy or has a large following, they're gauging like, man, do I want to respond to this? Because what's going to happen from this conversation? I'm just being honest. Like, if somebody sends you a novel the first time and you open a door to respond to them, they're probably going to send you another novel. That's one of the things that you think about when you're reading these types of DMs, right? So, when you're reaching out, be brief, provide value, and most importantly, be yourself. If you can, do this via video, do it via an audio recording so that somebody can hear your voice, they can see your face. There's a better emotional connection there, right? Than just a message or an email. Sometimes that's the only way, but if it's not, maybe send a message. But again, be sincere, be yourself. If you're going to be nervous on video, that's probably not a good idea. But if you can pull that off and you can send somebody a message, it's usually more meaningful. And also, don't be offended if it doesn't get answered right away. Sometimes I get a lot of DMs. So like if I see something that's a video, I might be in a meeting or somewhere where I can't necessarily watch that video right away. And sometimes it gets moved down the list and I don't catch it, man. I sent a text to somebody last night and said, hey, man, sorry, I'm just seeing this. It was a text from like 3 days ago, but somehow it got bumped down my messages and I didn't see it. But I was going through last night and I saw it. So I responded to them and let them know that, hey, I just missed this the other day. So just keep that in mind. It's not necessarily that the person doesn't want to speak to you, but it is, sometimes they're just busy or they can't get to that message right at that moment, and they might get back to you later. But your ability to get a response is based on how you push this out, right? How you're actually handling this. Again, do your research. If you're trying to connect with a person, and I've done this a bunch of times with people that I wanted to speak to, whether it was a mentor or an influencer or somebody that I wanted to connect with, do your research on that person. Figure out things that maybe you have in common. Figure out things that are unique that you might be able to pick out that mean something to them that you can speak about. But patience wins that game, right? Do your research, be willing to be patient, and just don't be pushy, right? It doesn't matter if it takes 1 time or 50 times of reaching out. If you eventually build that relationship, it's always worth it. So, be patient, do your research, say things that are meaningful, say things that are honest, be yourself. And there are a million ways to kind of eliminate what we call the cold factor, right? When you look at, I like to say in the world of sales today, cold calling is almost dead, right? Because cold calling is almost eliminated because there's so many ways to actually reach out to a customer or a prospect before you talk to them. And so you want to be eliminating that cold factor if you can. Some of the ways that you can do that is follow the person, comment on their posts, like their posts. If you're trying to prospect people, I would recommend LinkedIn is a great way to do this. Join groups that they support or belong to. Support charities that they're part of, right? I've got several people that are great friends of mine now that, the relationships, kind of went to a new level or they got on my radar at a higher level because every time I put things out there that I was supporting, those people contributed. And it doesn't matter if it's $5, $25, $5,000. The fact that somebody takes the time to support the things that you support, it's meaningful, right? Keith Jr., he is, we are friends because he was persistent, no doubt. He sent a DM to Top Contractor School that I missed, I didn't see. And then eventually he connected with me on social, but it was through, polite persistence is what I would say, right? Because, there's a lot of people, man, they'll send you a message and you don't get back to them right away. And they literally send you another message that's kind of rude. Like, oh, I guess, you're not going to get back to me. It's like, dude, I will, I promise. Like I get back to every single DM, or I try to get back to every single DM that I get. because I respect people's time, other than the ones that are just out in left field somewhere. I got one yesterday that was like, "Hey, how are you? Hope you're staying safe." Like, I don't know what to do with that, man. We don't know each other. We've never had a conversation. Like, I don't know how to start that conversation. It's just super awkward, and I don't know what to do with it. So I don't assume that that's a person that I will build a relationship with if that's kind of the approach that they take, and so think about that. Think about, what cold outreach means to you, and how you would like it to come to you. Some of the things the more things that I don't like, just because the things that you don't like are easy to point out. On LinkedIn, man, I get multiple messages a day. Sometimes it's in the double digits of people literally just straight up trying to sell me something before they ever meet me. That's such a bad way to do business. In fact, those people go on the never do business list, because it's just not a good way to do business, right? Like, at least try to get to know me, right? Before you try to do something. Keep it short, build a relationship, get on my radar by liking or commenting posts. Send me anything, but just don't right out of the gate send me a canned email that's just, "Hey, I'm trying to sell you something," right? And, I think that those people who come across as pushy or persistent, it's usually because they don't have a large enough sales funnel, right? If they don't have enough customers that they can pull from to sell, then they get really desperate and they start to push too hard. And yeah, to Dave's point here, professional persistence versus professional pain in the ass. Don't be a pain, man. People don't like that, and it's a bad look on your business. It's a bad look on you to be pushy with people. That people aren't going to buy stuff because you push them. They're going to buy stuff because they need it, and you can present a solution in a way that makes sense for them to move forward. There's nothing else more to it. Sales is not about being pushy. It's about solving people's problems and doing it in a way that people can relate to, get excited. They'll actually get excited about giving you money when you do it the right way, And again, cold reach out is a critical piece of business, but it is important, super, super, super important on how you do it. Because if you are offending people when you do it, man, you're going to have a bad reputation in your business. So, Hal, to your point, we've never knocked a door or made a single cold call, all referrals. I don't sell to anyone who is soliciting me in a pushy way. Yeah, I agree, man. I block them too sometimes. It just depends on the level of pushiness. But, there is a such thing. And how I would encourage you, man, if there's, commercial clients out there that you want to go after, make a top 5 or a top 10 list and use these respectful methods of how to get in front of them, of how to contact them, of how to, connect with them on social, go like their page and, get on their radar. And then eventually those people are going to do business with you, right? If you're reaching out, you send them handwritten cards, you do respectful things like that put you in a position that stands out against everybody else. Eventually you're going to do business with those people. And so we've acquired tons of customers that way by being respectful, marketing to them respectfully, showing them the value that we bring, both professionally and as individuals. And, you will get somewhere. So cold outreach is not necessarily a bad thing, but it can be a bad thing. And there's a lot of people that do it the wrong way. And so that sometimes is the perception that we have of salespeople, because so many people do it the wrong way. And so, without a doubt, man, going the extra mile matters. And when you go the extra mile and you're willing to show up over and over and over again and just be there, right? Just be there, keep providing value, keep providing solutions to problems that they might have. And eventually they're going to have a conversation with you and you're going to do business with them. It never fails. I get asked all the time, like, what's your close rate? And I always jokingly say 100%, because, we don't give up on anybody that we want to do business with, that we know we can solve their problems. And so you guys shouldn't either. Just take these tips and do it the right way, right? Just make sure that you're not being that guy or that girl that's DMing people and has them scratching their head like, where does this come from? Or emailing people with a novel that you expect them to read. One of our guys in the TCS Inner Circle just landed a multiple $1 million contract, literally off of a one-line email that we use to prospect with. And, that's what it takes. People want simplicity, and it might take a lot of outreach, over and over and over again to get it, but it's worth it because you're building the relationship on the right foundation, right? You're building it from a place of care and service, not of pushiness and desperation. So good morning, Jeff Nelson. What's happening, man? So I hope that was helpful for you guys. I hope that those tips kind of gave you some perspective on, when you're reaching out cold, number one, how to make it not cold out of the gate. But number two, if you are going to reach out cold, just some of the things that can be beneficial and some of the things that are really triggers for people that will make them instantly write you off and not want to do business with you. So that's it, guys. As always, I say on Fridays, man, go out like a lion, don't go out like a mouse. I'll be working to the bell today. Hopefully you guys will too. Fridays are what we call separation season, folks. It's where everybody out there has an opportunity to separate themselves from the pack. Those people that check out at noon, they might sit at their desk till 3 or 4, but they're not actually working, right? It's your opportunity to gain those inches on your competitors, on the people around you, and on the former version of yourself. So go out like a lion today, guys. Don't go out like a mouse. Have a happy Friday. I'll be traveling up to Cleveland today for a quick meeting and back this afternoon. I hope you guys have an unbelievable weekend. Thank you guys for being here, and I will see you Monday morning, same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective. Love you guys.